Are we ready? I'm going to apologize. I'm on a speakerphone, but I have Greg here with me, and it's highly facilitated by having a speakerphone instead, but sometimes it comes across weak, sometimes it comes across loud.
I can hear you just fine. I'm on a speaker as well for the court reporter's benefit. Kurt, I haven't heard much from you. Are you there?
Yes, I am, and I'm on a speakerphone as well because I have a few pieces of paper in front of me I might need to work with.
Okay, well, good. If we're ready to go, let's get going.
Let me run through the personnel present for the reporter first. Scott Irwin, I'm the chair of the panel. Ramona Pagel is here, is that correct?
Yep.
And Cheryl Gray, you're there?
Yes.
Great. Those are the three panelists. The USATF presenter, Kurt Holbright, you're here?
Yes, I am.
And Bob Duplantis and Greg Duplantis on behalf of the athlete, correct?
Correct.
And Randy Barnes.
That's correct.
Okay. I hope everybody doesn't mind my using first names.
I would much prefer it, Scott.
That's the Southern way, right?
Very much so.
Okay, the floor is yours, Bob.
Okay. First of all, this case, quite frankly, has astounded me from the very start. I thought it was a relatively simple case, and there aren't really a lot of principles that have to be kept in mind in order to understand.
On the right sample, the 50 meg.
That's right. It had to be in a different time because, again, logic, use common sense, that it had to have been a different time that this was done.
Well, right, but my point is, if it was at a different time and they showed zero to start with, this subject, is there any explanation in the report why they show not zero at the beginning of the 25 milligram?
No, but it's not zero. Incidentally, as a statistical matter, it's not zero on the 50 either.
It's above it because it's a higher reading.
Exactly.
Not in GML.
Yes.
It goes to 325 on the one, and the other it only goes to 100, and it's not all the way on the bottom.
You see, and incidentally, there's a line that's kind of a baseline. You see the baseline?
150 million.
Yeah.
You see that line across?
Yeah.
That line across is the standard line. It's because again, I hate to keep using the term common sense, but we can use our common sense. If androstenedione is not in urine, all I got to do is say if they find it in your urine, it's positive.
Well, isn't that essentially what they've done?
No. That's what she says she can do, but why can't her colleagues do it? Why did Kirk say we've progressed, we've moved the ball further? Why we've gone further, we've advanced the ball, we've done it better than anybody, we now know more. If it's as simple as finding it in their sample.
Okay. Questions, Ramona? Carol? Okay. I'll ask the panel members to stay on the line for a second, and we'll get back to you as soon as practicable. Bob or Kurt, do you have any questions for me?
No, I would like just one opportunity to respond to clarify one thing because I think it's very important. Well, you're looking at let me just
if he talks, I'll talk again.
I just want to. The only thing I want to do is that Dr. Ayo was asked a question about the very point that Bob's making with respect to its presence in the urine, and she testified about that. And I think that the panel would be remiss if it doesn't consider that testimony in connection with trying to look at this particular article.
And I would make one more comment.
Pardon? Pages 102 and 103.
I would make one more comment to that effect. I would suggest that if you do that, you read in toto her testimony. Dr. Ayo's language, her first language is French. And I can tell you that the language barrier and understanding how she says things, read the entire transcript. Please read it with this in mind. And try to see if you can follow her responses where she says, no, yes. And she says, you don't understand what I mean? Constantly because of the language problem. And I'm going to suggest to you that it makes no sense.
Okay. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
As soon as we have an answer, and we'll let you both know.
And if I might, one more second. If you find as a matter of law that you don't find androstenedione in urine, and it's turned out that ate the basis, then Mr. Barnes goes down the river, doesn't he? For no good reason, and you've legislated that that's the case, and I don't think you can. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Now, do we know who's still on the phone?
Ramona's here.
Carol's here.
Do we have any way to prove that they're off the phone?
I don't think so.
We trust them?
I think we can trust them.
And this is my first hearing, so I may be missing something, and maybe the two of you can connect the dots for me. He had a high TE ratio, right?
Correct.
Okay, and I guess what they're saying is that the Andro, they have possibly found a way to specifically test for that. Whereas in the past, pre-98, they may not have been able to get as so finite as to get it all the way down to the Andro, but would have stopped at the high TE ratio?
Yeah, but that's not what we're asked to decide. We're deciding whether there is a case of Andro, whatever, in his system. And I think that's a good question. My question is, okay, if his testosterone was so high, okay, you have him on something. Go with that. But is what we're doing setting a precedence for this next drug? Because I don't know, and I didn't ask the question because I don't think anybody on that panel would have, those lawyers would have the answer, but I think that we would have had a lot more cases with this drug had this not been used as a precedent. And since it hasn't come to a close, they haven't used it.
In the Barnes case in particular?
Yeah. Because, this DEHA stuff is the same stuff that Mark Aguayo used. And this was a huge thing back in the day.
Right.
And it was over the counter, anybody could get it, and everybody could use it. And you would think that, everybody would. But now I think we're being asked to say, well, this study has merit, or this research has merit. And I don't think that's fair for us to decide whether we're not scientists.
Right.
Why should we be deciding whether this doctor's research has merit? That's what I think that's what.
Well, but technically, we're looking at the panel below, and we have to decide whether their decision was clearly erroneous.
I think I have everything but the panel below's decision, and quite honestly, there was some briefs submitted.
Yeah?
Yeah, this is the first, I guess I didn't know what I was supposed to have, but this is the first time I'm hearing anything about briefs. I don't have that.
You don't have those?
No, I have everything, and I'm trying to go through again. I don't have the briefs, and I don't have the panel's decision. That's why I guess maybe I was looking a little bit in the dark.
What was your email back to me that you had everything? What was that? What did that include?
It includes, it sounds like everything else, but I didn't know there was a brief.
You got 2 volumes of exhibits?
Shouldn't there be 3 volumes of exhibits?
Like there's 2 volumes of exhibits and 2 volumes of transcript?
I have 2 volumes of transcript. I thought I saw something that said volumes of exhibits, but I don't. But how long is their brief?
Not very long.
Okay.
They have a lot of exhibits attached to them. Greg's is 16 or 18 pages with quite a few exhibits. Kurt's is shorter, 14 pages, no exhibits. Yeah, you should have those if you don't.
I appear to have a lot, but I don't think that.
There is a lot.
Transcript from the doctor's testimony?
I have that. But I have the transcript from the doctor, I have the transcript from the, I don't know what you want to call it, the hearing. I have most of these, from what I can tell, all the exhibits that are referenced in all the documents and things that I have, but I do not have. And I'm opinion.
We'll get you those. Well, the opinion is only 6 pages long. That's no problem. I can fax you that.
Okay. So whether or not they acted clearly erroneous in deciding that the test or his failing of the test.
That's our standard.
Okay.
Just like any appellate case, we don't look at new evidence. We just look at the hearing below and the evidence of the hearing below and determine if they screwed up, essentially.
Right.
And do either of you have a feeling as to, if we had to vote in the next 10 minutes, what you would decide, or do you need some time to think about it?
Well, I kind of gave you my opinion on it. I'm not sure that we're the ones to decide the case, and I don't think the Doping Appeals Board is either. I think that she didn't.
We are the Doping Appeals Board.
Hmm?
We are the Doping Appeals Board.
Well, the original hearing
board, yeah.
Sorry, was I just don't, unless they were all scientists and could determine that. It's.
But if we're not deciding the case, does that mean we uphold the lower one, or we throw the whole thing out? In your mind, that's the $64,000 question.
Yeah. I'm uncomfortable with it right now. I'll have to go through my notes and because Holbrook came through, some things ways to look at it that I didn't look at it when I was reading it.
Yeah.
But I am uncomfortable with them not, turning down and being so abrupt and.
Well, that's just the way the IAAF is.
I realize that, but I also know that once this decision is final, we're going to be saying that it's okay for them to go on research and not on something that's been verified.
Soundly tested, yeah.
And that's basically what the whole case is coming down to. Randy's career's over.
Yeah.
He's done. He's not going to get out of it. It's just done. So what we're coming down to is.
If we exonerate him, though, he's still retired, isn't he?
He's retired. He's old and retired, and I highly doubt that he'll deal with track and field anymore anyway. But
how old do you think he is?
He's probably 37, 38.
Yeah.
So, I don't think it's whether we want to, or not we want, but whether we believe that, that this is the appropriate way to be handled. Whether an athlete should be a case or an experiment.
Yeah. Well, in every one of these cases that you've read about internationally, Merlinati, Mark Richardson in the UK, they've all been tossed out or somehow glossed over because I think everybody recognizes there's serious problems here.
Yeah, I'm not refuting necessarily her research because I don't have
the ability
to do that. But I also know that I did take some advanced courses in college, and 4 subjects isn't enough to say, yeah, this is the norm.
Right.
Especially when you're dealing with an athlete that's at the highest level and size-wise is not norm. If you take, 4, 5, 10, 170-pound men and give them something and, or
give it to Randy Barnes.
What's going to be the same thing, and I don't want any athlete to be an experiment.
Convicted on a maybe not beyond a reasonable doubt.
Right.
Yeah.
I just don't want us to be experiments. The athletes shouldn't be the experiments. That should be something else.
Okay. Well, Cheryl, you apparently haven't made a decision either, I take it.
No, I haven't. And I guess I'd want to see those other documents before.
Okay, so you need both briefs, right?
I need both briefs and the opinion.
Okay. Call Indy and make sure they get them to you ASAP. Or I'll fax them down. Give me a fax number for you. 504-599-8289. Okay. Okay. Today's Wednesday. Let's assume we get those to you within a couple of days. Maybe we should. Can we talk Monday and see if we've come to some kind of consensus?
Yeah.
Enough time for everybody?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to have to give you another number because I'm going to be out of town Monday.
Okay.
My cell phone. 504-236-4899.
Should we set a time to do that or just kind of play it by ear? But Monday's the 16th.
Let's set a time.
How's 5 o'clock Central Time?
And so that's fine. 3 o'clock in the morning.
Your time. Ramona, are you still out east?
Yeah, I mean, so it'd be 6 o'clock for me.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll call you both. I can do a conference right off my phone here.
Okay.
I was inclined to uphold the lower when I came in here today after reading the stuff last night. I'm really torn with the same issues that you've discussed, Ramona. The natural occurring and the no level concerns me, although the doctor's testimony was pretty clear about it not being natural in the urine, so that's why this Exhibit P27 interests me, and I may read that, but I don't know how they could rely on that little thing alone, and why didn't they bring in other evidence to show that? That's kind of concerning.
Right, I mean,
unless there is no other evidence.
Well, that's possible, too. Yeah.
Well, but it seems to me there ought to be somewhat, I mean, other people can say whether or not it's in the urine.
But I thought so. But they should. And why is it a USATF exhibit P27 as opposed to the athlete's exhibit? That kind of confuses me too. I almost asked that question, but I was afraid what I would get.
Well, I think of it. I mean, some of it doesn't. I mean, with the stuff that USATF has written, it doesn't sound like. It sounds like they have doubts themselves.
Yeah. Well,
I think that's clear.
Yeah. Well, Craig's letter is pretty comprehensive. That's why he read so much from it, I think.
Yeah. I mean,
Might be interesting to talk to him about it.
Can we do that?
Well, not officially.
Okay.
Maybe off the record we could.
Okay.
well, that wasn't the only. I think there was a couple of letters.
Right. And there was one from Bob Hurst that said go to another lab, and they didn't do that.
Yeah.
Well, but I guess it'd be, well, off the record again, but I think Kurt came in and said that was to a different proceeding. So do we have the wrong letter in here anyway?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and look at that, too. I didn't understand what he was saying.
Okay, well, not an easy case, clearly.
No. It wouldn't be 3 years old.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so Monday,
5 o'clock.
yeah, my cell number.
Yep. And Ramona, where do I get you?
540-731-3346.
Okay, we'll talk Monday.
All righty, thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.